Puzzle game.
So yeah, next up, we're going to pick the best puzzle game of 2020 here at Shacknews. Last year, for frame of reference, Baba Is You won. That game is very cool. Who reviewed I Am Dead?
I did.
What do you have to say about that?
So, I Am Dead is maybe one of the most interesting concepts as far as like approach to puzzle solving goes, because you're a ghost. You don't actually interact with anything in the world. Instead, you use your ghostly powers. It's like an I Spy game, but you're a ghost and you go inside objects to find other objects. Like if there's a golf bag, then you can zoom into the golf bag and like phase through its corporeal existence and see like the clubs inside the golf bag, or you might see like a special golf ball inside the golf bag, and that golf ball might be the object that you're looking for as far as this sort of I Spy idea goes. And when you present it that way and then put that concept in like giant menageries of characters and moving interacting parts, like it's really interesting. I don't know if I would consider it the best puzzle game, because I really was more engaged in the story than I was in the... I thought the puzzles were very, very clever, and the way that the approach to solving them were very clever, but I really more enjoyed that game for its story than its puzzles.
I didn't get a chance to play I Am Dead, but I did think the story or the premise of it seemed damn interesting, at least from the outside looking in.
I'm just gonna say it. Half-Life Alyx deserves recognition for its puzzles.
It does. I agree.
And it begins.
I'm just saying. You couldn't make these puzzles without VR. That's how cool they are. Like there's 3D spatial puzzles that wouldn't even work in on a flat screen.
That's exactly why Half-Life Alyx, like first-person non-VR mod, just like fails miserably.
Oh, it's horrible. The game is like complete trash when you play the mod, because you're like, well, that's not immersive, and how was I supposed to know to do that? Like your perspective is just different. But I know it's not going to win this category, but it deserves to be nominated.
It does. I agree.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of us that haven't played that, but that's the kind of thing that I look for in a category like that, though, is that, like, we're talking about other puzzle games and they kind of, what you can debate the merits of the puzzle, but Half-Life Alyx does something that other games just can't do based on what you're saying, which I think is, like, that alone is almost enough to...
It's not that they can't. They hadn't up until this point, and I think it sets a precedent now for VR games going forward.
Isn't that a pretty serious reason to give someone best puzzle game? Like if they change the way that people make puzzles?
I just don't think that you would classify Half-Life Alyx as a puzzle game.
Fair enough.
Like it's probably more action adventure than it is puzzle.
See, and like that exact argument is why I put Carto here and why I'm gonna probably end up going with Carto.
I agree.
Carto is not something that somebody couldn't have come up with, but it did, and the way it implements it is so damn charming. Carto is both charming and mentally engaging in the exact same ways that I found Baba Is You to be last year. Mm-hmm. Its art style is just so cute, and then the puzzles, like you literally have a magic map that you just take squares of the map and rearrange them so that you can move forward. And then when you go back from your magic map, the world is the way that you arranged your map. And that's so interesting. I love that.
Mm-hmm. I think the key for a good puzzle game to me is that it has to be challenging enough to make you feel stupid, and then have this like aha eureka moment when you do solve something. Like, it has to feel good to solve a puzzle. I think The Witness is a good example of this, right? Like that game made me feel very stupid, but then when I solved the puzzle, I was like, wow, even going back to Half-Life, there were a couple puzzles in there where you feel stupid for a little bit and then you're like, holy crap. You have these come to Jesus moments. But yeah, haven't played Carto, but I watched your stream and I read Mason's Cortex review on it. I think it seems like the kind of game that I would be pretty into. And I do think that the puzzle mechanics are charming in that.
It was really fun too, because like I had people in the chat that were like, we were talking about like when I get stuck on something, I was talking with people in the chat, and I'm not gonna say it spoiled the puzzles, but it was like they gave me ideas that I might not have thought of myself, and it was like, yeah, like the reason why I can't find this old man is because he said his house is on the east side of the island, and he's sitting on the west side. So of course I have to move the old man's piece over to the east side of the map to find him and his home. It's so weird, but it's so cool once those solutions become clear.
Who nominated Moving Out?
I was just going to talk about Moving Out. I didn't nominate it, but I was going to speak to it because Moving Out is a really fun, like, just couch co-op puzzle game. It's very simple, but I had a lot of fun with it. I played almost all of it with my little brother earlier this year.
I'd classify it more as a party game, but I really enjoyed Moving Out, and I thought it was a lot of fun just trying to just plow through the entire house, break windows, like trying to like get everything in the fitting everything in the van is probably like the biggest puzzle element, because you can't just throw everything in the van because inevitably stuff's gonna fall out. So just like kind of like arranging everything is part of like the puzzle.
It's almost like Tetris with furniture, like throwing the sofa and the TV and all that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Moving Out has maybe the most satisfying destructive elements of most of the games I've played.
It does.
Because you're on a timer, and so you don't have time to use doors, so you just throw your body through a glass window.
Anybody who's ever moved out of a house knows how this feels. You just want to break stuff after a while.
I wish I could have just took my bed and slid it out of my window and let it drop 3 stories.
Pivot! Pivot! Pivot!
No, I think Moving Out's really charming. It probably is gonna see more discussion in like best co-op award.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's really solid. Who nominated Murder by Numbers?
That was me. There's not too much to say about Murder by Numbers because on the one hand, it's a lot of basic Picross, and the Picross puzzles are excellent, very exquisite. But the other half of Murder by Numbers that I really loved is it incorporates a lot of the investigative elements of the Phoenix Wright games. And in terms of like collecting evidence, trying to confront suspects with evidence, that sort of thing.
Overruled.
Really? Not liking that?
No, I just wanted to.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because I brought Phoenix Wright. That's where my head is at right now. But in terms of combining two unlike genres, and I have that argument, I'm going to put a pin in that for like later categories, but just the way it combined those two elements, I really like Murder by Numbers. I don't know if it's going to win this category, but you know what? I wanted to at least give it a shot.
I wanted to shout out Helltaker, another game that we kind of overlooked this year, but it looks like a very fun puzzle game. I don't think it's going to win this, but it deserves mention at least.
Yeah, I don't think I got to play any Helltaker this year, but it looks interesting enough.
It makes me think of like Chip's Challenge or Crypt of the Necro Dancer, but like, without the rhythm part of Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
It's a sliding box top-down puzzle. You have a fixed number of turns. You're on a timer. You have to pick up items and then try to get to the girl at the end of each level. And then it turns into a micro-dating sim where she asks you a question, and depending on how you answer, you get sent back to the beginning, or she decides to become a member of your anime here. I'm not really sure about this. I was told by some weebs that I had to defend this game, and I promised them I would. But as you get towards the end, you collect a bunch of anime ladies of the night, or I probably am saying some offensive here, but I'm told that if this game can get you real horned up, but it's also a great puzzle challenge. Right now, it's also the #1 rated puzzle game of all time on Steam based on percentage of people that have played and the ratings they have given it.
I am aware of this game. I'm gonna put this out there. I am aware of this game, not because I knew it was a puzzle game in any way, but because I've seen its characters and Thirsty Twitter. Thirsty Twitter.
You're on horned up anime Twitter.
No,
Oh,
but
no.
but I do follow people that
That's
are
what I heard.
occasionally the you're following this person, so here's a thing they liked.
Well,
Shows
yeah,
up in my
look.
feed.
Like, if you're part of F-Zero Twitter, guess what? There's this. If you looked at the Venn diagram of F-Zero Twitter and horned up Weeb Twitter, it's almost a circle.
It's a circle.
So,
So I didn't even know
Also,
this
this
was a
game
puzzle
is
game.
free as all hell. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
little reason not to horn yourself up with these anime ladies.
it looks pretty neat. And then, Krabs, you also mentioned Shapes.io here, right?
Yeah, but I realize that's in the wrong category, so I'm
Okay.
standing for Helltaker.
Who put it in Superliminal?
I did. That game is amazing.
I forgot about Superliminal.
It's so good. Like it's like I don't know, man. It's got the great like quirky humor that made the Stanley Parable so good, combined with this like perspective mechanic that we've kind of seen like teased in some games. Like some games have kind of used it like to make you look at things from a different angle, but this game really uses it at its core mechanic, and it's just amazing. Like taking all of these basic props and like, you know, changing the way that you're looking at them, how like where you're looking at them from, and just seeing how that like helps you solve the puzzle. And it's just like when it clicks, it just feels so good.
Because it's a
Like, it
forced
just
perspective
feels
game, isn't
great.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is really damn impressive.
That is super interesting.
Josh, you may have swayed me here.
Although I am looking at the Epic Game Store page, it actually came out in November of last year. So it
PC
is-
What?
did.
What a twist!
But
Yeah.
PlayStation
It's-
4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch versions
We
were
have
released this year.
we overlooked this last year.
Well, yeah, I guess we did. That's my on Steam. It says it came out in November of 2020. So I guess it just made the Steam
Overruled.
release.
Is a bed of
That-
lies.
that
Still
is on
bad,
us.
man.
That is
Still
on
a
us.
notable mention.
No, for sure.
You know,
Superliminal is
Tim's
cool. Check it out on
crossed the
it's on
bridge in
Switch.
Selma so we could have that game a year early.
Tim Sweeney did.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's put a pin in that for best Nintendo Switch port.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put this to a vote. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the best puzzle game. I'm
Um,
gonna vote for Carto.
I'm also going Carto.
I'm also going Carto.
I will be the outlier and say Murder by Numbers.
I have to go for Carto as well.
I'm gonna go with the crowd and just say Carto.
Okay.
Just gonna.
I'm with the Cardo noise. I like what I heard.
I'm still all horned up for Helltaker.
Josh?
Just,
Tough one. I don't know. I like the sound of Murdered by Numbers. I think so. I think I'm gonna have to side with Ozzy on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Carto.
He's
also.
playing Helltaker.
Oh, I'm playing it. I will be playing it though.
He needs his alone time. David's not here. Greg?
Man, I didn't really play any of these games, so except for Moving Out. It's the only game I played, puzzle-wise. So,
You're gonna vote for the game that you played? Or
I mean, no, I just wish I would have played them, but you know, there's so many games. I'll do Carta because, like I said, it sounds like everyone really likes it and it's really good.
Carto. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 votes for Carto. You know what that gets you? That gets you the Shacknews Award for Best Puzzle Game of 2020.
So come along. Be a part of the journey. Be a part of the discovery. And bring Carto home.